Hey, what is up you guys, it's Dustin and I am back with another video, and today is going to be a drama rewind. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to go through in all the videos that I made about Trisha Paytas, Gabbie Hanna, and this whole saga between these two. I'm going to put them all in one video for you to consume in the timeline that I posted them, okay? So this is going all the way back to 2019 when all this stuff really popped off with Gabbie Hanna, and she was in the thick of the drama with Trisha Paytas and Jessi Smiles. Now keep in mind, I have a whole bunch of receipts in here. I have text messages with Gabbie Hanna. I talk about my phone conversation with her. I talk about my experience and my conversation with Trisha about all of this. There's a lot of information in this, so if you really want to know all the tea that has happened with Gabbie Hanna throughout the years and why people really don't like her, this is probably going to be the video for you. I know it's long. It's probably, looking at it now, it's an hour or so, but I wanted to put all of this stuff in one place instead of just making a new video, because if I made a new video, I might miss something, and all of this stuff is chronologically correct. So this is just the best way for me to do it. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, let me know down below. If you don't, I completely understand, but there's a lot of old Dustin in here. There's some old intros. You guys may like that. It's a retro throwback. That said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please don't forget to leave me your thoughts and opinions down below.
At the end of the day, here I am at my house, not saying anybody's names, not trying to get in anybody's business, but there's also somebody else going on the 500th rant for the month.
There's so much drama going on right now. Picture it. I'm sitting here, literally just doing nothing but watching my friend Susan So Southern. You guys should definitely go check her out. When I get this notification that Trisha Paytas uploaded this video, Why I Don't Trust Gabbie Hanna. And basically this was a 15-minute video from Trisha explaining that she believes that Gabbie goes around saying that Trisha may have
herpes.
But that's honestly not where this all started. I didn't know until after I had watched Trisha's video that Gabbie had actually posted an Instagram story where she didn't name Trisha, and no one would have actually had known about Trisha allegedly having
herpes
if they were not privy to this whole story. I literally only knew this because Trisha told me this story when I hung out with her when I was in LA, and I'll get a little bit more into that after this. I'm gonna play you guys the Instagram story. It is kind of long. I will insert a timestamp for you guys that have already seen it so you can fast forward and get farther into this story. I'm gonna play that for you now, and then I'll be back with the rest of the video.
I have a genuine question that I want to ask the general public. If somebody tells you that somebody has an STD, an incurable STD, it comes from a close friend of theirs, a source, and then you find out that a friend of yours is sleeping with them, is it wrong of you to say, hey, just so you know, I've heard this, don't know if it's true, but this person told me, talk to them about it, ask about it? Is that up? I'm just genuinely curious. This isn't like going around telling everybody, hey, I heard this person has an STD. This is, you know, somebody you care about is sleeping with them, and you say, did they talk to you about this? Don't know if it's true. This is what I heard. Just be careful. Check it out. Here's where I'm coming from. If I was sleeping with somebody and one of my friends knew from a close source of that person that they had an incurable STD, and they had that information and weren't like, hey, just be careful, check it out, talk to them about it, I'd be fucking livid. Another question. Would you consider that like gossip and rumors to talk to the one person who it's about and be like, hey, check it out, ask them about it, have an adult conversation about it? Is that gossip, or is that just like being a friend? All I'm saying is I've been being painted as a villain for a year, 2 years, I don't know how long, because I knew somebody was sleeping with someone who I wasn't close with her. I was close with him, and I heard that she had an incurable STD. He told me he slept with her. I literally said, hey, this person I've heard has this incurable STD, and if you're going to continue sleeping with her, ask her about it. Don't know if it's true. A close friend of hers told me. That's all I know. Be careful. Keep an eye out. Use protection. And I'm a bad person, because no matter what I do, I'm always a bad person, and this is why. I have 3 amazing friends that I hang out with. Just don't talk about anybody. Don't do it. Like I'm in my house, living my life. But I snapped today because I'm so sick of it. I'm sorry to like rant about this. I usually try to keep like this like pretty private. It's just I'm at a place in my life where I'm so fucking happy. Like I have great people in my life. Like my friendships, my love life, like my house, my career, like everything's great. And I'm so secure in myself and who I am at this point that I'm so done with bullshit. And I'm so sick of like the shit I hear that I've said or done, like coming back to me, and just like hearing the things that like people make up. Sorry for snapping, y'all. At the end of the day, this is what I'm sick of. I am somebody who, not to toot my own horn, but beep the f***ing beep. I am so kind to people in my life. I will reach out to you if you're hurting, whether you're awful to me, if I hear all the terrible things you say about me, if you've killed my f***ing pet. If I see you're having a hard time, I will reach out to you and I will say, I'm here for you. If you need to talk, I understand. Let me listen. And that's always been who I've been since the beginning of time until now. And I'm so sick of being that person to everybody all the time and then hearing the shit come back to me that comes back to me. And I'm just done. Like, this one pushed me over the edge because it was just like, I could not be kinder to this person to be treated like this. Another thing that I'm realizing I've kind of like grown past and grown out of, because I'm sitting here bedridden doing some reflecting, waiting for a hottie to come over with my leg up because it's broken. When people, like, you're having an adult conversation with them and then they just like start insulting you and they'll say like, this is why nobody likes you, and it's like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, I know I have friends. I know, like, people like me. You know what I mean? And then, like, what did you think? It's just so desperate and, like, a last, like, grab at, like, trying to hurt somebody. And that's what I think it really comes down to, is I never would try to hurt somebody. I would never try to say something to somebody to hurt their feelings. I would never go out of my way to, like, hurt somebody, you know what I mean? And when somebody's doing that, you just have to step back and be like, okay, this person is obviously hurting, because you have to be hurt to hurt people. Like, happy people don't hurt others or try to hurt others. So that's my lesson, is if anybody's ever just like coming at you, trying to say, like, insult you and make you feel some type of way, you already win, because that person is not happy. And just be happy. At the end of the day, here I am at my house, not saying anybody's names, not trying to get in anybody's business, but there's also somebody else going on the 500th rant for the month.
Okay, so now that you guys are caught up, basically I'm assuming that this came from Gabbie, one of the mutual friends between Trisha and Gabbie Hanna. And I think in that, maybe Gabbie went back to the other Gabbie and possibly said something that stirred all this up again, which led to Trisha making this video. So after I watched Trisha's video, I tweeted out and said, who goes around saying someone has herpes? There's gossip, and then there's just downright being nasty about someone. Gabbie Hanna, please clarify for me. I don't want to be nasty and no shade is intended. I just genuinely want to know. And Gabbie responded back to me and said, check my story. I never spread rumors or gossip. I heard something, then a friend of mine slept with her, and I told him privately to have a conversation and be safe, as I would hope any of my friends would do for me if they heard something like that. Gabbie then replied back to me again after I tweeted out and said, I think the thing here is Gabbie Hanna could have went to Trisha Paytas and asked her if she was that worried instead of possibly starting a nasty rumor. And Gabbie replied and said, the thing here is that it wasn't her at risk, and she wasn't my friend at the time, and I wasn't about to approach her with it and start drama. I wanted to tell him to have the convo if he felt necessary, but at least be aware and make his own decision. Now, this is where I really have to like take into account me speaking to Gabbie as well as me speaking to Trisha. I'm not going to get really too far into detail about this whole thing with Gabbie and the conversation we had, but basically Gabbie said some things to me that would lead me to believe that she was very comfortable with speaking to Trisha if she has DM'd her multiple times, even potentially asking her to hang out. I don't understand why she couldn't have just asked her woman to woman like, hey, I heard this about you and is this true? But even with that said, it still wouldn't really be Gabbie's place to go around telling this person, that person, and the other person. And also to add on to that, Trisha is very open about her life. I'm not going to say what life, but you guys know what life I'm talking about. Honestly, she really leaves no stone unturned in that aspect of her life, in my opinion. She's very open and forthright. The real question to me is, Gabbie said that she heard this from someone that is very close to Trisha. She even said that on the phone with me. Number one, why would this person feel so comfortable to say something like this to Gabbie? And two, if this is someone that is very close friends with Trisha, why would they be telling her business if it was in fact true? And three, if this is someone that is very close to Trisha and they're her quote unquote friend, why would they be going around saying something like this at all, even if it was true, because that's not their conversation to have. After the last tweet that Gabbie put out to me, I replied back to her and said, I understand what you're saying, but going straight to the source isn't starting drama. The other thing is, who is going around saying this that told you? To which Gabbie replied and said, but it wasn't my business to know if Trisha had herpes. I have no reason for her to tell me. It was my business to warn a friend that he might be at risk. Know what I mean? Asking her would just be gossip. Telling him to be safe and find out is caring for his health. And then I responded back to her and said, I understand wanting to look out for a friend, but clarifying with someone isn't gossip. Trisha is pretty open about her life. What trouble would it have been to ask her like, hey sis, someone said this, is it true or not? And really thinking about this now while putting this video together, it's not really Gabbie's place at all to be warning anybody about anything. I think when two consenting adults have relations or whatever they're gonna do, that's a conversation that Trisha would have to have with her partner at that time, or any adult for that matter. And I do believe that Trisha would have that open discussion with them. Trisha may be very dramatic, Trisha may be a troll on the internet, but I do think that she does take health very seriously, especially in that regard. So after my last tweet, Gabbie replied back to me and said, Trisha isn't my friend to text her out of nowhere and say, is it true you have herpes? Is very strange, and I didn't care. She said he told me in person, and I responded in person to talk about it with her. Like she said, it's not my biz, it's his. So I said, ask her if you care, don't if you don't. I just really wish that Gabbie would have went to Trisha and spoke to her about this. She didn't even have to go at her with what this accusation was or what this allegation was. She could have been like, hey, this person told me this about you. They say that you're their friend, and I would really like clarification on this because, hey, I know you're messing with my friend. You don't have to tell me, but I would really just like for you to know that this person is saying this about you. Just a woman to woman type of thing. And then there was this whole back and forth about this whole party thing. Trisha said that Gabbie begged her to invite her to the party, and then Gabbie said that Trisha DM'd her, and then she went on to show receipts showing that Trisha messaged her and said, hey, RSVP if you're gonna come to my party or whatever. At the end of the day, I do feel like this is a missed opportunity between both of them. More so Gabbie than Trisha, because somehow I feel like something got misconstrued somewhere, and I feel like if they both had communication skills to talk to one another better, this outcome would not have happened. I feel like Gabbie should have just went straight to Trisha when she heard this, that she may in fact have this. This whole thing could have been resolved, nipped in the bud, and then Trisha would not have had to like make this video and address this. And speaking of that, when I was in LA, somehow Gabbie got brought up because I like Gabbie's music, and I spoke to Trisha, and literally this is the same story that Trisha told me about Gabbie, and literally nothing has changed. Basically, my final thoughts are, if Gabbie could reach out to Trisha in DM and message her about anything else, and she feels that comfortable in doing that, she could have just messaged Trisha and been like, hey sis, like this person's talking about you. I want you to know this. And I get the whole thing about trying to like look out for your friends, but there's a whole different dynamic to this thing. This is YouTubers. Everybody speaks to everybody else. So Gabbie saying this to Jason, and this was a fairly new relationship between Trisha and Jason. There's no telling who Jason could have told or whatever. I don't dislike Gabbie. Gabbie is actually very sweet, or she was to me at least, on the phone, the FaceTime that I had with her, where she was literally bawling her eyes out. I felt bad for her in that moment, but at the end of the day, right will always be right. My opinion is that Gabbie could have done a better job about handling this instead of making this whole Instagram story. I told her that if she feels like she needs to clear the air and get things off her chest, that she should make a video, or she should just not address it at all. I'm one of those all or nothing type of people. I will either address something or I will not address it. I hope that moving forward, they both find peace with this situation. I really don't wish any ill will to either of them, and I would really like to see them support one another, because right now there's just so much negativity on YouTube in general that this is really like the last thing that they need to be fighting over. And I honestly do understand why Trisha would be so defensive in this, because if someone was going around saying this type of thing about me, or saying something that could be negatively perceived about me, I would be very upset, especially in regards to something this serious. But you guys, I know this video is incredibly long. Thank you if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. I really want to know what you guys think about this. I know that a lot of people feel a certain way about it. Don't send anybody any hate. That is not the point of this video. I'm here to spill the tea and tell you what I think about it, and I want your opinions and your feedback on what you think about the situation as well. Leave that for me down below. Trisha and Jason had already slept together. Gabbie admitted this to me on the phone. There's so much drama going on right now.
Girl, she not ready to have her.
Hey, what is up all my social climbing friends? It's Dustin and I am back with another video. And this video is not going to be edited. I'm going to directly upload this video. If you can't tell, I am really sick. Like, really sick, girl. And let me adjust this because there's been a lot of stuff going on over the past like 24 hours. I really just do not even feel like putting and compiling a whole video together about this. If you're on Twitter, then you know what's going on. If you're not, then I'm just going to give you the cliff notes, because in my last video, I talked about Gabbie Hanna and I talked about Trisha Paytas. I have got an overwhelming response of people saying that I'm biased, this, that, and the other. That's fine. You can have your opinion. You can think whatever you want. Like, I encourage a healthy debate here. If you think I'm biased, that's fine. You can say I'm biased. You can have your opinion. That's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not here to like try to change anyone's opinion on this matter or say you should be in this person's corner or that person's corner. But let me tell you, there's a lot to really unpack here. I'm not going to show the receipts. I'm recording this on my iPhone. This is something that I rarely ever do. And I literally do not have the energy, the time, or the want at this point to like sit here and like rehash all this stuff and get into it, because like I don't feel good. But there are some things that like I think people are like misunderstanding about this whole entire situation, right? So originally when I first made my video, the gist of what we had was Trisha uploading her video and Gabbie doing this Instagram rant before Trisha made this video to like basically set everything straight, right? So Gabbie Hanna was the catalyst for this. Now it's came out that Gabby DiMartino was with Trisha Paytas. Gabbie was texting Gabby DiMartino and was basically like, hey girl, like, is Trisha talking about me? And I don't know if Gabby DiMartino brought up Gabbie to Trisha. And that, like, I'm here to tell you from experience, like, excuse me, and I'm like burning up and cold at the same time. Gabby DiMartino apparently brought Gabbie up to Trisha, and Trisha was basically like, I don't like her, da 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 da. And that is exactly what happened when I was in LA with Trisha, right? Well, okay. Trisha said in her video that she uploaded today that she didn't even get into the whole thing about like the STD, that, whatever, okay? And I want to clarify some things on that too, because I was getting a lot of comments of people saying that, oh, well, if Dustin ever gets into a new relationship, don't warn him about like somebody saying that he had their new like partner won't have an STD or whatever. Literally, Gabbie Hanna told me on the phone that Jason had already slept with Trisha, right? So at that point, the damage was already done. And if Jason is like, what, 45 years old, he should already like be asking questions before he's going to get intimate with someone anyway. And it's really nasty to assume that someone would not disclose if they did have something going on. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's what a lot of people are not getting or not understanding. This was gossip. It's textbook definition of gossip. If you say something that is not confirmed true or you say something that is like borderline slanderous and cannot be proven, it is gossip. So this was gossip. Gabbie knew that Jason already slept with Trisha at that point in time when she said, hey, somebody told me that this is a possibility that Trisha may have this. And that's where my issue is. Gabbie also told me that she's invited Trisha over to her house to stay for a week, to cook her dinner and all this different stuff. But Gabbie's like defense was, I don't know Trisha like that to go to her and ask her if she had this. My thing is, she didn't have to go to Trisha and be like, hey girl, do you have this STD? No, she could have went to her and be like, look sis, somebody said that you have this. It's a close friend of yours. It's X, Y, and Z. You may want to check that out. That is where I was coming from with this video that I had put up yesterday, right? So, like, I think in the grand scheme of things, if Gabbie would have just went to Trisha and was like, hey, this person is saying this about you, I think it's really important that you know this. I think that you should question this person and ask them why they're saying this about you. And if it's not true, why are they going around telling people this? You know what I'm saying? And also, like, if that person was comfortable in saying that to Gabbie, why would they feel comfortable in saying that to Gabbie to begin with? You know what I'm saying? Gabbie has deleted all of her posts about this. Basically, she made like a statement and said that she wants to move on. And then there was talks of her like doing, exposing some stuff on a podcast. Like, I'm not here to shit on Gabbie. I'm really not. But in my opinion, I don't feel like Trisha is wrong in this. Trisha literally, she reacted. And I feel like she has been gooped. I feel like Gabbie DiMartino got with her, and then Gabbie got in her ear, and then Gabbie like started this. She kicked all of this off by asking her that. Of course, if somebody goes to you and asks you what you think about someone, of course they're going to talk about you. You know what I'm saying? So they knew that they were going to get that reaction out of Trisha when Gabbie DiMartino said that. So you can't get mad at someone for talking about you if someone asked you about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been like, even myself with other YouTubers, people ask me what I think about other people all the time. It doesn't mean that I say shitty things about them. It doesn't mean that I go around saying nasty things about them. I'll just be like, I don't like that person. Like, that's it. Like, there's many different people that I don't like, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to take every opportunity that I have to shit on them. You know what I'm saying? And it's been proven that Gabbie continually texts Trisha over and over and over and over and over and over, when Trisha literally told her to leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? You cannot like Trisha, but you have to see where she's coming from on this. Like, if somebody said you had an STD and it was not confirmed, and they were going around doing this, spreading gossip, because at this point, it's gossip. Like, some people don't like gossip, but this is textbook definition of gossip. When you sleep with someone, you know that you need to ask questions regardless. So I don't know if Gabbie thought that Jason was not smart enough to do this, or if Gabbie thought that maybe she knew something that Jason didn't know. But Jason should have been asking those questions. And I think that it's really wrong for Gabbie to assume that if Trisha did have this, that she wouldn't disclose that to Jason. You know what I'm saying? That's just the filthy, nasty thing about it. And that's what's bothered me about this whole entire thing. It was almost as if Gabbie was like insinuating, well, I don't think Trisha would tell him, so let me just go ahead and tell Jason. That is not, that's so dirty to me. And it really just boggles my mind that some people don't see past that. Like, there's so many different people that have had nasty things said about them, and I'm gonna assume that if you're okay with somebody saying, oh, well, that person might have that. When I sleep with someone, I'm automatically going to assume, like, girl, we're wearing rubbers, like, we're doing all, you know, the whole nine. It wasn't really Gabbie's place. But I'm going to assume that if you would partake in that type of gossip, or if you were okay in saying, well, this person may have that, then you've never really been in a situation where people have said something like that about you, because I've had many different things said about that, like about me in the past. I've had people say that I have HIV, I've had people say that I had chlamydia, and like literally like never in my life. And things like that are very, very hurtful. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Trisha has made videos about this in the past. That's her story to tell. It's her story to tell. But when you go around and you spread unfounded, unfactual, or unproven information, it's gossip. And that's what I think that Gabbie does not get about this. This was gossip. For her to make this Instagram post and ask, is this messed up? And she was asking all different kinds of opinions about this thing. And she was like,
regurgitating that she's such a good person. If you're a good person, you do not have to say that you're a good person. At the end of the day, do I hate Gabbie Hanna? No, I don't. I love her music. I watched her Vines, but literally, like, this whole thing has left a really bad taste in my mouth. I sat on the phone with her and literally only got like 2 or 3 words in edgewise, and like I felt bad for her because she was like very emotionally upset, but I don't know if that was coming from a place of hurt or her literally just being upset because she was upset the way people were going to perceive her after this, because all I heard was like record labels and I've lost subscribers, this, that, and the other. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if she wants to delete this stuff and move on, that's fine. I told her she needs to do like what she needs to do. You need to be all or nothing. If you're going to address something head on, address it. If you're not, just move the fuck on. At this time, Trisha said that she's contacted her lawyer. I've been in Trisha's DMs with her. She's told me that she's contacted her lawyer. What she's going to do with that, I don't know. I don't know if she plans to sue her. I don't know if she plans to like take out some kind of like restraining order or whatever. But at the end of the day, all of this could have been prevented had Gabbie, one, either kept her mouth shut because it was after the fact that Jason slept with Trisha. That was not even needed at that point in time. Jason should have asked those questions, and I believe that Trisha would have disclosed if she had something at that point in time. That's why it's gossip. After the fact, she didn't even have to say all that. She could have literally went to Trisha and been like, hey sis, I heard this about you. This person said this. They're your close friend, and Gabbie made it a point to say that they're her only friend, and I don't know who she was talking about on this phone call with me. She said it was Trisha's only friend. That right there, Trisha and Jason had already slept together. Gabbie admitted this to me on the phone. So this conversation with Jason where she said, hey, I heard that she may have this, was absolutely not needed. It just wasn't. She could have went to Trisha and been like, hey sis, handle your business. And that's where I'm coming from on this. If this doesn't change your opinion, that's fine. I'm not trying to change your opinions. I'm just trying to get out there what I feel and how I feel about the situation, because I've got so many comments about it, and I'm like, people obviously think that I'm like bandwagoning for Trisha. No, if Trisha was wrong in this situation, I'd be like, no, Trisha's wrong. But Gabbie and Gabby DiMartino, it just really feels like they bamboozled Trisha and they made her riled up, and they like tried to get her to say things about Gabbie. And that's just how I feel about it.
Look at what she sent me. Look at all of this. Text messages, videos, all this kinds of stuff. Like, do you see how much this is? It's literally like so much. There's so much drama going on right now.
Girl, she not ready to have her.
Hey, what is up all my social climbing friends? It's Dustin, and I am back with another video. This is such a mess. A mess. Yesterday, I was out to dinner for my birthday because I was so sick on my birthday. I did not feel like going out to dinner. So yesterday, me and my family, we went out to dinner. And this was right around the time that Jessi Smiles uploaded her video about Gabbie Hanna. If you guys have not watched that, you may want to pause this video, go watch Jessi's video, and then come back to this video because it's going to make a lot more sense if you do. So literally, I'm in the middle of eating dinner with my family, and I have my phone up to my ear. I'm chewing on like a chicken wing, and I'm trying to listen to what Jessi Smiles is saying about Gabbie Hanna in this video, and then my phone starts blowing up. Like, when I tell you like blowing up, like I mean blowing up. I know what Trisha Paytas meant when she said Gabbie will text and text and text and text and text. Literally, I got so many notifications of text messages from Gabbie, and it was not just text messages. Gabbie sent me screenshots of conversations of her and Jessi Smiles and all kinds of things. So we're gonna get into that. I don't know how much I'm gonna include because it is literally so much. But before I get into this video, there is like something that I want to clarify. All of this kicked off when Deanna, a follower of mine as well as Jessi and I think Gabbie, actually tweeted something out where she said that everybody thought that Gabbie and Jessi weren't friends because Gabbie chose Curtis Lepore over Jessi. Her and Gabbie hashed that out. There was no ill intent in what Deanna said, and that's literally what started this whole thing with Jessi Smiles. It was the straw that broke the camel's back for Jessi, I believe, because that is in turn why Jessi ended up making this video about Gabbie. I actually had quote tweeted Deanna and said something along the lines of oop or something, and I'm here to tell you that I don't know the whole backstory of this. I watched Vine, I watched Gabbie, I watched Jessi Smiles, Smiles. I watched all these people, Alex James. I did know the accusations about Curtis Lepore and all of that happened with Jessi. I cannot recount all the details. I don't remember the time frame. It's been a really long time ago, but I was able to go back through the internet and I was able to see that Curtis was like accused of this that happened with Jessi back in October of 2013. Gabbie is adamant that she has not collabed with Curtis or anything like that, or really had too much interaction with him since then or before then or even at all. So I wasn't able to find anything literally in that sense as far as like a video goes. But I did see a tweet between Gabbie and somebody named Chris, where she tweeted to Chris Coops, who tagged her in something that's now deleted, and said, "At Chris Coops, King Bach, Curtis Lepore, at me Radoon. Wow, thanks, you're awesome, man, and thanks for including me with these guys. Crazy honored." Now I just want to say that if this is in December of 2013, this would have been literally 2 months after Curtis was accused of what happened with Jessi. I would be repulsed by even being remotely associated with Curtis Lepore now or then, and Gabbie tweeted back to a tweet with him in it. That's in no way Gabbie like defending him, but it does to me in some way seem like she was like glad that she was included in this whole lineup. Like, she shouldn't even responded to this. This is a bad look. And to even further get into that, I did see that there were videos with Jessi Smiles and Gabbie Hanna on the internet from like 2015. So they were friends after the fact. I can only imagine the toll that this whole like friendship took on Jessi Smiles with Gabbie Hanna because what Jessi said in her video. Because basically Jessi said in her video that Gabbie was hanging out with Curtis Lepore and his friends, or she was hanging out with Curtis's friends rather, and Curtis was there and had a conversation with Gabbie. And Gabbie somehow got defensive about the whole situation because she said that Curtis's friends did not Jessi. What? Gabbie, were you thinking in that moment that that was an okay thing to say to Jessi, somebody that was literally assaulted? Like, does that make sense? How would you feel in that moment if this was you? Now, all of that aside, Jessi did get into her like sending messages about like medication and things to people such as Deanna, trying to make Jessi look bad or not in a good light. And ultimately, no one really knows the real tea on why Jessi and Gabbie are not friends. Like, we can all like assume and make theories. And basically, in my opinion, and this is just a theory, this is an opinion, I feel like Jessi really had it up to here with Gabbie, because Gabbie has this like track record of like talking about people, and I feel like Gabbie is one of those people that she has to prove a point, and all the text messages that she sent me literally shows that. And Gabbie likes to tout that she's such a good person, and she goes on and on and on about how she's so great to her friends, how she lives her life in her house with her 3 friends and her man. And literally, if you are living that great of a life, you do not have to get on the internet and say that you're a great person. Make that make sense, sis. Now, let's get into some of these text messages. I don't want to read all of them because literally when I tell you that it's so much, here, I will just go through some of them. So I was out to dinner and my phone started going off like crazy. It was Gabbie Hanna. And look. Okay, this was our last conversation. Like, I literally don't respond to Gabbie that much. But like, look at what she sent me. Look at all of this. Text messages, videos, all this kinds of stuff. Like, do you see how much this is? It's literally like so much. So I'm going to read to you some of what Gabbie sent me now. And I don't know why Gabbie feels like she has to make a case to me, because literally I'm nobody. And my opinion holds just as much weight as anybody else's, which is really not a lot. I don't understand why Gabbie has to go around trying to prove her point that she's a good person, or why this person done her wrong. Like, it makes no sense. It's like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall, sis. It really is. But Gabbie texted me and said, "Dustin, I do get this is your job and I get why you do it, but you're seeing an extremely one-sided story, and I'm literally asking you as a person to not push this one-sided narrative. I'm doing my best to stay to myself and work on my music, but that rumor has gone too far. I have never and would never collab with her. I have never publicly defended him, and there's absolutely no type of proof or video or photo to show that I did. Not long who Jessi asked me for a job. Even less time ago, she asked me for real estate advice. Her and I squashed our beef 50,009 times over the years, and every time I'm in drama, she pops up again." Right here, let me just insert my opinion, because literally, Gabbie, you do not have to respond to everything that is about you. Sometimes that is the problem in itself. People see that, and if you respond to every critique, if you respond to every drama, if you respond to everything that people say about you, it makes you look like you always have to be right. Like, what? Gabbie then says, and I have combos with Jen too, where she's saying how Jessi forced her to hate me and she was sorry and sent me apologies from her own friends for siding with her when there was no evidence when Jessi cut them all out. Who cares if somebody cut somebody out, Gabbie? Literally, who cares? I cut people out all the time. Just like 2 weeks ago, I cut somebody out of my life. I don't talk about them. I don't acknowledge them. I don't check for them. They talk about me. I don't care. If somebody is talking about you and they're your ex-friend, let them talk. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to be anybody's friend. You do not have to paint yourself in this good light all the time, because people are going to say bad things about you. People are going to say good things about you. But at the end of the day, it's what you answer to and how you act going forward that dictates what other people think about you, Gabbie. And that is something that you should learn from this situation. You do not always have to respond to the things people say about you. Ooh, girl. Ooh. My throat got a little bit dry. Gabbie then said she cuts people out and then comes back and apologizes and cuts them out again and comes back again. I've been dealing with that cycle for years. Being blocked and unblocked and reaching out for help or questions and being blocked again. I could show you years of emails and texts. Gabbie, why are you sitting on years of emails and texts? Literally, some of the screenshots that you sent me are from like old phones that don't even have SIM cards in them. Like, why are you holding on to them? Why are you trying to hold evidence of conversations with somebody else that you've had in your past? Sounds like somebody that I know. And side note, friends don't do that. Like, yeah, you can have like text threads of people, but literally going back, trying to cherry pick things that people said about you or other people in a conversation with you that somebody felt comfortable in sharing, like, what? Gabbie then goes on to say, yes, I blew up on Jen 5 to 6 years ago because she was relentlessly attacking me on Twitter, saying I collab with her and it never happened. And after trying to have a civilized convo with her, I snapped. Now I've grown and I know to ignore it. And for those of you that don't know what Gabbie is referring to, there was like this thing from Jen Dent, and I'm going to be honest, I did not know who Jen Dent was. Apparently she was big on Vine or something. No shade, but I really didn't know who she was. She had like posted this thing on Facebook. It was a status, and somehow Gabbie took offense to it, and there was like this text thread between her and Gabbie was being like really rude to her, talking about, yeah, I've earned everything that I've got, and yes, I want to be on Saturday Night Live one day, and I have like degrees, and you're sad, and you're being pathetic, and it was just really gross. I retweeted it on Twitter a couple days ago. Here's where it really gets good. Jessi wanted to collab recently. She literally said she always forgets I was always her biggest fan, and then whenever drama stirs up, this happens, I ignore her as much as I can, but this is crossing such a major line. Now, if you watched Jessi's video, you would know that she actually recounted this, and she said why Gabbie was her #1 fan, because Jessi used to sing and Gabbie would go to her shows and she would literally like cheer her on. That is what friends do, Gabbie. That is what friends do. That is what friends do. Let me tell you something. Like, there's a lot of people that I'm not friends with, and yes, I might throw shade and I might do some stuff on Twitter that's literally like shady and catty, but it's never like really malicious. I don't go out of my way, because I see stuff all the time about myself on Twitter from shit that happened like years ago with other YouTubers. I do not even have receipts to go through to show people what happened to prove what I said on the internet. It's literally my word. But here you are with books and books and books of things about Jessi. Here's some more, girl. The last I spoke to her, she was asking me where to live in the name of my apartment building, and I literally did research to help her find a place to live. Jessi also talked about that. Then she says, and then she threw shade at me in a video for the 500th time. I asked her if she could please stop, and she said she only brought me up because all of our crossover fans ask, and I said, yeah, but the more you bring it up, the more people ask. So let's just like not, and then I was blocked again. Gabbie, to me, and listen, like, I know this video is getting long. I feel like Gabbie is upset that Jessi doesn't want to be her friend. Literally, you are not owed a friendship from anybody. You are not owed anything. If Jessi never acknowledges you again, Gabbie, that's something that you're going to have to deal with. That's a you issue. I feel like Gabbie has to have like everybody liking her. And the tea with that is, sis, it's going to do you a lot of good if you listen to what I'm about to say. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to agree with you. Not everybody is going to blow smoke and kisses up your ass, because some people just don't like people. There's a million people, well, maybe not a million, but there's a lot of people that just don't like me for being who I am. And that's okay. I'm not out here trying to change their mind, because I can't. If people are dedicated to not liking you, then you have no place trying to change their opinion of you, because it will not happen. It's like trying to move a mountain, Gabbie. Especially with the amount of followers that you have and then Jessi has. There's no point for you to try to plead a case to anybody on the internet because you're going to do you either way. I feel like you're putting so much time in this and you're investing so much of yourself into this situation that you're literally making yourself look bad by trying to make yourself look good. It is not a cute look, sis. And then Gabbie goes on to show me conversations that she's had with Jessi. I don't think there's anything about Jen Dent in here. All this is Jessi. She even sent me like a video recording of conversations that her and Jessi had at one point in time. Like, who does this? Who freaking does this? There's a whole lot more, and it's basically Gabbie just saying that she could send me years of conversations between herself and other people, and it's literally just sickening. At the end of the day, it's okay for Jessi not to like Gabbie. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly human. It's fine if she wants to throw shade. Literally, that is when it would show Gabbie's true character. If she was really actually happy with herself, if she did not respond to this shade and she didn't respond to the antics that people go on about on Twitter. You're just proving people right, Gabbie. And to think that all of this started because you said this about Trisha Paytas, and then Jessi felt comfortable in coming forward finally about you. This needs to stop, Gabbie. If you do not stop doing this, if you do not stop this like perpetual self-victimization of you and the people that were in your past, I really feel bad for you because you are going to be a very, very sad person if you do not stop this. Stop trying to validate yourself by invalidating other people. It's just that simple. You guys, I know this video is all over the place. I hope that I shed some light on this. I hope that it makes sense. Gabbie did not endorse or support Curtis Lepore. She did respond to a tweet that she was tagged in with him, saying that she was honored to be tagged with him and King Bach and some other people, and that's it. Gabbie and Jessi are not friends. Jessi's perfectly fine not to be friends with Gabbie, and Gabbie just needs to stop going around trying to invalidate other people. Because literally, who keeps receipts on somebody years later? You guys, let me know what you think about all this down below. I know that it's a mess. I know that it's crazy. I hope you're having a great Sunday wherever you are, but please, like, Gabbie, for the love of God, if you text me again, don't text me about Jessi. Don't text me about anybody else. You have nothing to prove to anybody on the internet. You have a platform of over like 1 million people on Twitter and over like 6 million people on YouTube. Make a video, sis. Make a video. Gabbie, this right here, girl, this thing you see behind me, your social blade, that is a direct result of the way that you treat people. There's so much drama going on right now.
Girl, she not ready to have her.
Hey, what is up all my social climbing friends? It's Dustin and I am back with another video. I want to apologize in advance because I do have a house full of people. They are literally in the next room. I have my door shut. I'm using my Yeti mic. I'm gonna try to cut out any background noise, but just keep in mind if you hear something, Eric's watching football and his little brother is playing like Crash Bandicoot. So we're gonna try to power through this video. Now, I know that this video is late. I wanted to get this video up on Friday, but there was some drama with Jeffree Star and Shane uploaded the finale to the series. So that is why you are getting this video today. I apologize for it being like a day or two late. However, there have been more developments in this whole Gabbie Hanna story. You guys, as well as many other people, have seen my other video about Gabbie Hanna and my issue with Gabbie and how she sent me so many text messages trying to like plead her case with me as if like I'm somebody that she should even be doing that with. But since I have waited, we have got a little bit more tea. Jen Dent as well as Alex James have uploaded videos as well. I feel like there's probably going to be someone else that will probably end up coming forward on Gabbie. Like at this point, it's just like Gabbie is just not paying attention to this. And I know that one of the things that she specifically said to me when I spoke to her the first time about Trisha is she was like, could you please let me know if my social blade is red? Could you please let me know if I'm losing a lot of subscribers? Because obviously that means a lot to her. And as you can tell from the thumbnail of this video, Gabbie is now losing hundreds of thousands of subscribers just in this thumbnail alone. If you look and you add everything up, it's about 100,000 subscribers. And that seems like that's going to be like the trend for her from now on unless she addresses this. That's literally like what people want from Gabbie. Like, we know that Gabbie is not probably going to tell the truth because I don't think that that's really in her nature. However, anyway, let's just get into this video. I don't know how long it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of reading and a bunch of different things that I'm going to say. I wanted to start out with this whole statement that Gabbie issued to Deanna as well as Jessi. I'm not going to read that statement. There was just one thing that was said in that I really wanted to talk on for just a moment. So in this statement, Gabbie said, my only tweet to him referring to Curtis Lepore was in 2013, 4 months before TMZ broke the story. At that time, I had no way of knowing what was going on. Her and I had not met yet, she's referring to Jessi, and I wasn't friends with any of his friends. I heard the news with everyone else. And then there's another part of this statement where she says, I've looked on the internet and I can't find anything, so it must not be there. Where's this proof that you speak of, Gabbie? You are a known tweet deleter. We've already confirmed in so many different drama videos as well as on Twitter that you have replied to Curtis Lepore. Period. There's no getting around that. It's been addressed. You have replied to Curtis Lepore on one of his selfies. You replied to him after the fact, knowing what happened between him and Jessi, saying that you were honored to be in the same group of people as him. So that in and of itself is a lie. And this is just my opinion. I don't know if Gabbie has had somebody go back and actually delete tweets, or if she's done it herself, or if she has an image consultant. I don't know if you guys know this or not. There are companies that you can hire that can go back and scour your social media for anything that could be remotely controversial and then delete it for you. I don't know if that's what Gabbie has done or if she's taken the time herself to do this, but it doesn't seem too far-fetched or something that Gabbie would not do or resort to, in my opinion. Okay, the next thing that I want to discuss is Jen Dent. You guys know that I said that I didn't really know her that well, but I did watch her video, and her video, it was basically her saying that she was fed up with Gabbie. She gave different instances of what Gabbie had done to Jessi as well as herself and even Alex in this video, and she even corroborated what Jessi said in her video about Gabbie and how Jessi allowed her to move in with her when she didn't have a place to stay after Alex had kicked her out. And we're going to talk about Alex James here in just a little bit in this video. If you guys haven't seen his video, you definitely should go watch it, because he kind of dragged Gabbie right across the coals for the whole world to see. Now, what I'm about to read you is very lengthy. You guys may have already seen it. I don't think that it has been in another drama video. I could be absolutely wrong. But Jen Dent, as you guys know, was friends with Gabbie Hanna, and I had mentioned this in my previous video about Gabbie, where she said something on Facebook and Gabbie took offense to it when it wasn't even really about Gabbie, and Gabbie messaged her some really nasty stuff. So I'm going to insert that in this video, and we're going to talk about it because it's really bad. So Jen tweeted this out, and it says, Christmas Eve 2014. Logging off, and she attached a screenshot of her Facebook post and then the text messages between her and Gabbie at that time. So Jen had posted, just thinking while waiting for my next plane, it's funny to me, reflecting on how most top viners, or not even top viners, but remotely popular viners, look down their noses at regular people who have actual careers, went to school for, or even those of us who have jobs that we go to every day where we provide services and or help people. I think Vine is great, obviously, and I enjoy it, but the massive douchebaggery that I see more and more of is exhausting. You make a 6-second video and begin to imagine that you're going to write for SNL one day. First of all, the type of humor that even goes over successfully on Vine is not what is going to be successful on SNL. Second of all, please hold while I laugh my ass off at you. Is Vine great? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. Has it opened doors for people? Yes. Believe it or not, even I am living some sort of weird dream because of it. But good Lord, has it created some monsters, and it's not pretty. The irony that she would say it created monsters.
So what if I'm the monster?
I'm just in a bad mood and tired and sick of being sick and tired. Forgive my rambling. So at this time, this is where Gabbie chimed in and messaged her this. LMAO, woman, you are so genuinely pathetic and sad. It's frightening how you think that everyone is looking down at you and thinks they're better than you. But who is the one knocking other people down in a fruitless attempt to feel better about their lost dreams and ambitions? Not I. I went to school. I did get my degrees. I know you're proud of them because you wanted to brag about them in your statuses, but I have 3 myself, so I guess I get to brag too. I did have a full-time career, but I was given an amazing opportunity to entertain and make people happy, and I was able to pursue that, and guess what? It is a full-time career. I put in a lot of hours, and I'm making incredible money from it. I think it's considered a career, right? I'm sorry that your dreams turned up dry, but mine are rapidly coming true before my eyes. Funny how you asked me where all this was headed, and I said I didn't know, but if I was dreaming big, I'd love to write for SNL someday. And you looked me in the face and pretended like you thought that was great. I have no doubt that if that's the path I choose, that I'll succeed. People laughed when I said I'd be a writer for BuzzFeed too, but starting in February, keep an eye out. Gabbie, I just want you to know that writing for BuzzFeed is not that great of a feat. BuzzFeed is trash. Twice my age and half the maturity. Pathetic. This is why so many people you believe love you think you're awful. So to wrap it up, Jen, you think I think I'm better than you? Damn straight. But it has nothing to do with numbers or likes or followers. It's because you're a sad, pathetic, unhealthy, negative, miserable, rude, pretentious bully who needs to convince the world, everyone, and then it cuts off and then it says, but I don't need to blast it all over social media and write Facebook statuses about it. I'll tell you directly. I'm not an internet troll. I forgot self-glorifying and narcissistic. Everyone agrees. I'm gonna go ahead and block you now because whatever half-witted desperate attempt at a response you come up with won't be worth my time. Your email is also forwarded to spam. Learn to love yourself and others will love you. Gabbie, you validate yourself by invalidating others. Exactly what I said in my last video, that's what you're trying to do here. Now, I don't know if this status was about you, or if somebody had an outside conversation with Jen about wanting to write about SNL. That does seem pretty specific. Here's the rest of the text message. Jen replied and said, "What are you even talking about? You think a Facebook status is about you? Jesus Christ, you have issues too, it seems. Wow, Merry Christmas." Now, I know how shade works. I don't know if Jen was trying to be shady to Gabbie, but like I said, that is a very specific way to go at someone. I don't know if Gabbie had confided in her that she was wanting to write for like SNL or whatever, but Gabbie, I don't care if you have 25 million subscribers. It will never happen. And while we're talking about degrees, I believe that Gabbie has a degree in psychology. And that's very interesting to me that Gabbie would like to throw around these terms like narcissistic, because in my opinion, Gabbie is definitely one of those people that comes across as very narcissistic. She always has to be right when it's something about herself. She's dismissive of other people's feelings and trying to prove herself that she is right in a situation that she was clearly wrong in. So Gabbie, this right here, girl, this thing you see behind me, your social blade, that is a direct result of the way that you treat people. Learn something from this, okay? So I went to check Twitter before I sat down to film this video because Jen is always like popping something new off like every like couple hours. And I did realize that after she filmed her video and today she got on Twitter, she tweeted out some things between her and Gabbie that really does like look really gross in my opinion. She said, "I know I should be done with this, but I have more screenshots, and if I'm gonna post them, I'm gonna post them all because I know her games, so here we are." And I don't know the context of this. This is literally what she posted on here. I'm going to insert the screenshots of the tweets that she attached to the tweet she put this to. But Jen and Gabbie were going back and forth like hardcore back in the day. Jen said, "Bitch, you don't know me, so keep talking shit and make sure you blow Jessi's phone up some more about how she needs to make sure to tell me you didn't say this and you didn't say that." That sounds accurate. Yeah. You say something about me in public, but not about any of the other people you talk about. So transparent. And Gabbie replied to her and said, "LOL, really? Because I said exactly how I felt on your post. I think you meant in front of everyone, dumbass. You may think I'm an elitist, and I thank you for thinking I'm elite." Gabbie, you are so disgusting, and these comebacks are horrible. But at least I'm not on a high horse judging everyone and everything. Have fun living your sad, miserable life. I know you enjoy it. To which Jen replied and said, "Yes, you did. Look, I don't care what you think or what any of you elitist people think. I said what I said in front of everyone. That's the difference between you and me. You talk shit behind people's backs." Where's the lie? Where's the lie? And Gabbie replied to her and said, "Chill. You're not relevant to my life to talk badly about. All I know about you is that you were there for my best friend when she needed you, and I've never spoken badly about you to her." That doesn't seem like the case, Gabbie. And I did take another screenshot from what Jen posted. I'm not going to read all of these tweets, girl. There's like a lot. If you want to go see Jen's Twitter, I'll put the like handle down here for you guys to go check it out. There's a lot of stuff there. But I did want to talk about this. Gabbie said, "LMAO, you talk like a middle schooler." Really? This right here is what gets me. Gabbie said, "You are white trash." Now, I know a lot of people use this term, but I don't think that they really listen to what they're saying when they say that. Do you realize that when you say you are white trash or someone is white trash, that is a very elitist comment? Okay, and the next order of business is Alex James. I love Alex James. I've watched him for a very long time. He lives like 2 hours from me. I've always wanted to meet him. I wanted him to follow me on Twitter, but he literally pays me no mind. But I love him to death. I love him to pieces. I've been part of the Waterbug army for like ever. And he uploaded this video where he discussed Gabbie Hanna and why he feels a certain type of way about her, and rightfully so. So basically what happened, there was a podcast that Gabbie was on, and I'm not sure if it's her podcast or who this podcast even belongs to, because I am not that far in Gabbie's ass to follow her everywhere to listen to everything she says. But I noticed that he tweeted out and said, "I'm just really a bad person." And in this podcast, Gabbie basically says that Alex James is a bad person and that when they were friends, that they picked up all their things and moved out to LA together on a whim to like help their Vine careers.
What? Yeah, my friend at the time, he texted me, he was like, "Move to LA." And I was like, "Yeah, like I need to figure out like my car," because I had like a really shitty Buick Century. I was like, "I just need to figure out a lot of stuff." And he was like, "Oh, whatever." And then he calls me back 30 minutes later and he goes, "I just booked a flight to Pittsburgh. I'm going to be there in the morning. Pack your car. We're driving to LA and you're moving. So I literally just like threw as much as I could in my Buick. The air conditioning didn't work. The radio didn't work. The windows didn't roll down. And we drove across the country in my 2000 Buick Century. What? And I'm here. This is a cool friend and story. Oh, he's actually like a really bad person though. This one noble deed. Yeah, this one moment was good.
Now, I don't know why Gabbie is referring to Alex as a bad person. I don't know anything really bad about Alex, but then again, I don't really search for drama about him or really know anything about that. Like back in the day, I do know that he's like a drama queen, but I don't think that he's like a messy drama queen, if that makes sense. But it's really funny that Gabbie would call him a bad person when there's clips of David Dobrik defending Alex James, saying how much of a good person he is because he literally gave them like furniture and clothes when David Dobrik literally had nothing.
Also, it looks like you got that tank top from the Urban Outfitters bargain bin.
You know where? You want to know where I got it? Our buddy Alex James. Huge biner.
Wait, you had no money back then. He gave you all the
He
stuff.
gave us all his clothes.
Wow.
So I would only wear his clothes because I only owned like
He also
3
gave you
shirts.
all his furniture and
He gave us
everything
his
he
furniture
basically
because we were
owned.
broke. So he gave us all his clothes, like the 3 garbage bags full of his clothes.
I don't think that that's something that a bad person would do, Gabbie. Now, you guys, I know, like I said, this video is long. Right now, before editing, I'm at 20 minutes. That literally never happens. I just want to say that, Gabbie, I think that you are just literally, you are trying to ruin your career at this point. You've already lost 100,000 subscribers, and I've noticed that Gabbie is tweeting a lot more than she normally would in any regular instance because I've had Gabbie on notifications for a long time, and over the past couple of days she's tweeting more. So I don't know if she's doing that as a way to like cover up her deleting tweets, because Social Blade will reflect if someone deletes tweets. So if you delete a tweet and you post another tweet, it'll cancel out and you will not be able to see it read on Social Blade. Overall, I think that Gabbie handled this so poorly, and the fact that Jessi ended up having to make a video and put herself out there to be vulnerable again to this whole Curtis Lepore situation really upsets me, because Jessi is a really, really nice person. I don't even have the tweet in front of me right now, but Jessi had tweeted something out about Gabbie talking to a 15-year-old in her DMs. Gabbie, literally, why are you doing that? Why are you out here sending DMs to a 15-year-old to try to prove a point? But Jessi quote tweeted this person and said basically along the lines, this is sick, you need to stop this. I said this in my video, do not message people, especially underage people. And even Kathleen Lights, of all people, and we all know she's really good friends with Jessi Smiles. She even spoke on the situation like, Gabbie, you are all gas and no brakes. You need to calm down. You need to come back to earth. The way that you talk to Jen Dent is definitely a reflection of how I think you are as a person. Yes, I agree that people grow over time and that this was like 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago at this point. But if you thought that way then, I don't think that it's too far-fetched to think that you still think this way now. And I do think that you think that you're better than people, and you're just not. You're basically a homely girl that got lucky on Vine that had some degrees, and you like to throw those around as well. You yourself said you have a degree, and we know that one of them is in psychology. So you know what you're doing. You know how you are treating people. You know how you are acting does not look good and is not healthy. So you need to cut it out. You act like you're this well-matured person and that you have everything going on good in life. Yeah, everything may look like it's going good in your life, and you may put all that on the internet, and you may have millions of people that believe that, but people that really know, that are really in tune, that have really lived life and that are actually good people know that you're miserable, because nobody that was not miserable would try to plead a case to people that they don't even know. So with all of that said, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really am sick and tired of Gabbie Hanna. It's really been a culmination up to this point. And the whole thing with Gabbie saying drama, she really crossed the line with that. And I don't really ever say that I've canceled somebody. Like, I do say I canceled people, but like when I say that, I mean that I put people back on the shelf and I don't mess with them for a while, or I don't tune into their channel, I unsubscribe and don't pay them attention. But honestly, I will never in my life ever engage with Gabbie Hanna again. She's a disgusting person. And whoever told her that she's a good person lied to her several times. You guys, let me know what you think down below about this entire situation. I know that you guys are going to do that anyway. I do ask that you please be kind. Don't mock her looks. There's enough content out there about Gabbie Hanna's character that explains that she is an ugly person, and I'm not speaking about her looks. I hope you all have the most amazing Sunday ever, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.